Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the September 23rd Lebanon Board of Works meeting. Our first order of business will be the Pledge of Allegiance. Member Taylor, will you lead us, please?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, now we'll move on to the roll call of members. Madam Clerk, will you call the roll, please?
Sure. Mayor Gentry.
Present.
Jane Taylor.
Present.
Bill Stoner.
Present.
Dick Robertson.
Present.
Alan Milburn.
Present.
Thank you.
Okay, next we'll move on to the approval of the minutes from our previous meeting. Are there any changes to the minutes? Would entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
I make a motion we approve the minutes.
We have motion to approve. Is there a second?
I second the motion.
Motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, minutes are approved. First item up is our police swearing in. We have 4 new officers joining us tonight, so I'll invite Chief Morgan to introduce them.
Good evening. I'd like to introduce our 4 newest officers to the public: Austin McCloskey, Jameson Wright, Grady Robertson, and Caleb Vickery. They are all graduates of the Indiana Law Enforcement Academy and have started their official duties with our department. I'm proud to announce all 4 of these officers are Boone County natives and have made the commitment to serve the community they are from. They have each chosen someone special in their life to hold the Bible with them while they are sworn in. Mayor Gentry will be doing the swearing in. Austin McCloskey and his wife Hannah McCloskey, if you guys could come up.
Raise your right hand. Yep, very good. Repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Austin McCloskey,
Solemnly swear
solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Indiana
and the Constitution of the State of Indiana
and all laws and ordinances
and all the laws and ordinances
of the City of Lebanon.
of the City of Lebanon.
And I will faithfully
And I will faithfully
discharge my duties
discharge my duties
as a member
as a member
of the Lebanon Police Department
of the Lebanon Police Department
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Hannah's pinning on his collar breast now. If you want. You want to say anything?
First, I just want to thank God. Romans 13 says that God chooses those in the positions of authority. So if he didn't want me to be here, I wouldn't be here. Second, I want to thank LPD. I want to thank the board for giving me this opportunity just to represent you guys, represent the city of Lebanon. And third, I want to thank my wife Hannah for the sacrifices that she made, especially during the academy. I mean, I have trouble being home by myself for 4 hours with my 2 boys, and she did it for 15 weeks. So thank you very much.
Jameson Wright and his girlfriend Katie Beard.
Ready? There you go. Repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Jameson Wright,
Solemnly swear
solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Indiana
and the Constitution of the State of Indiana
and all laws and ordinances
and all laws and ordinances
of the City of Lebanon.
of the City of Lebanon,
And I will faithfully
and I will faithfully
discharge my duties
discharge my duties
as a member of the Lebanon Police Department
as a member of the Lebanon Police Department
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You want to say something?
All right. I would like to thank the board, Mayor Matt Gentry, LPD, and Lebanon for giving me this opportunity to represent the community. You guys hired me, gave me the opportunity. And I would also like to thank my family for all their support throughout the process. It was a long process. Like Austin said, 15 weeks away from your family, it really starts to wear on you, and I just thank you for your support.
Caleb and his mother, Michelle Vickery.
There you go. Repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Caleb Vickery,
Solemnly swear
solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Indiana
and the Constitution of the State of Indiana
and all laws and ordinances
and all laws and ordinances
of the City of
of
Lebanon.
the City of Lebanon.
And I will faithfully discharge my duties
I will faithfully discharge my duties
as a member of the Lebanon Police
as a
Department
member of the Lebanon Police Department
to the best of my
to
ability.
the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thanks, sir. I just want to thank the board for this opportunity, LPD for being hired, and thank my family for all the support. It's been a real honor to serve the community.
Then last, we have Grady Robertson with his uncle, John Copeland.
There you go. I state your name.
I, Grady Robertson,
Solemnly swear
solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Indiana
and the Constitution of the State of Indiana
and all laws and ordinances
and all laws and ordinances
of the City of Lebanon.
of the City of Lebanon.
And I will faithfully discharge my duties
I will faithfully discharge my duties
as a member of the Lebanon Police Department
as a member of the Lebanon Police Department
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my abilities.
Congratulations.
All right, just keep this nice and sweet. Thanks to everybody here. It allows me to be here, the mayor as well. LPD for hiring me. That's a true honor. That's my lifelong dream. My family for sticking with me through this whole process and knowing this is what I was wanting to do the rest of my life. Thank you.
I'd just like to thank you guys for allowing us to bring them up here and swear them in. If you guys want, we can go downstairs and get some pictures taken out with you and your families. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief, and welcome to our newest members of the Lebanon Police Department family. Something we stress a lot in our public safety departments is that we are trying to be a family, and I wish you guys all the blessings and safety as you begin and hopefully end your careers with us. So thank you for joining us tonight, and best of luck in your guys' career. And we'll pause if everybody's here just for the swearing, and we'll let you guys go, so you don't have to stay for the whole meeting. Unless you want to, it's always interesting stuff. But we will not be offended, so feel free to step out.
And that's the last time, that's the first time I've seen any of these guys since we interviewed them, to accept them to get, and that's kind of a nice treat to get confirmed that they all have done well in the academy and passed their tests and so forth, and now are officially on force.
So it is fabulous.
It's funny how it just seems like it was
a
couple of months ago we were interviewing them, you know?
I know.
15 weeks gone by.
Long, didn't take long.
I think most have made it out, so we'll start our department head reports. First up will be the police department. I believe Deputy Chief Bailey will begin the report tonight.
Good evening. During the period between September 9th and today's date, the Lebanon Police Department responded to 672 calls for service. A total of 25 people were arrested for the following crimes: 10 for wanted on a warrant, 5 operating a vehicle while intoxicated, 2 for domestic battery, 2 while driving while suspended, 1 for residential entry, 2 possession of methamphetamines, 1 possession of marijuana, 1 resisting law enforcement, and 1 for intimidation. A total of 8 handgun carry licenses were given by our office. During the dates of September 13th through the 15th, Detective Dickerson attended the 3-day Gunsight Academy pistol class. It was 150 course. It's kind of an introduction to pistols, just a refresher for her. On September 19th, the Lebanon Police Department hosted the Axon and International Taser Instructor Recertification course. This course was attended by 16 different police departments throughout the state of Indiana. LPD had the following officers recertify: Justin Knox, Justin Fuston, and Ryan Williamson. Andrew Hampshire became a new instructor of the taser for us. On September 20th, we did a community outreach active shooter training for the Lebanon Head Start program for their staff. We also assisted the Lebanon schools and Lebanon School Police with active shooter drill at the Lebanon High School. And then on September 21st, LPD conducted an active shooter training with the employees of the Lebanon 7 Pavilion Movie Theater. That is all I have to report.
Okay. Thank you, Brad. Any questions from the board?
No?
Any
Thanks,
questions from the public?
Brad?
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next up is Fire Department, Chief Batts.
Felt like a man without a country there for a little while with all the law
A
enforcement.
little outnumbered, huh?
That's all right. Since the last Board of Works meeting, Lebanon Fire has made 125 emergency calls for service, logged 381 training hours, performed 21 commercial inspections, and participated in 2 public education events. On September 9th through the 12th, firefighters Sam Doherty and Adam Walker attended a 3-day school on rescue company operations. This was done through the Fire Department Training Network. On September 14th, Lieutenant Matt Young and firefighter Adam Walker attended a 1-day ladder company operations class. We have been requested to assist the Pike Township Fire Department with a promotion process for the position of Lieutenant and Battalion Chief. We will be sending LFD Lieutenant Matt Young and Battalion Chief Joe Caldwell to assist with that process this week. And we were very honored that Pike Township reached out to us to assist them with their promotions. September is the month that we do all of our flow testing for our SCBA packs. That's our self-contained breathing apparatus packs, our air that we carry with us. The flow testing is maintained yearly on those, and we've also certified and fit tested all of our SCBA masks for each of our firefighters. All of the fire hose that we have will be pressure tested this month and make sure that it's in very good working service, and that'll be completed by the end of the month. Usually in September and October, we do a lot of our equipment certification, so I'll be reporting more on that during next month's meeting. To echo what Chief Bailey said, we also participated in the lockdown intruder drill at the Lebanon High School last Friday. The drill was a success. We found a couple things that needed to be worked on, but overall, resounding success. Very happy with how things worked out from a communication point of view from the command post inside the building. Our LHS intern program is going very, very well. Elaine Brown is a senior with LHS, and she's been with us since the beginning of school. Very bright, brilliant young lady, interested in looking into the nursing field, but we might be changing her mind into the fire service, the fire science degree. And she'll be participating in an observation burn on October 7th, so she's gearing up for that, and she's just really having a great time learning about the service. That's all I have for this evening.
Thank you, Chief. Any questions from the board for Chief Batts? No. Any questions from the public? Okay. Thank you, sir. John Messenger, Parks Department.
Good evening. New stone has been placed at Memorial Park Shelter. I want to thank the Rotary again for that. They're going to have a nice placard on it here soon, but it looks really nice. We really like the great additions we've done out there. The splash pad is going to stay open another week. The weather obviously is going to be pretty warm coming up, so we'll keep it open until Sunday, and then we'll have to close it down and get it all ready for winter. We also have quite a bit of work to be done with, warranty work and also a punch list that needs to be corrected. There again, our lap swim program is starting back up Tuesday, October 1st at Lebanon High School. The program runs Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays from 5:30 to 6:30. Just contact the park office if you would like to join that club or group. The Civil War reenactment will take place this coming weekend, or the 27th, 28th, and 29th in Memorial Park. Lincoln will be there. It's really nice. Other than the guys, they need to play nice, north and south. They don't even like to put their tents up next to each other. But prepare your dogs and all the people that there will be cannons going off. There will be a reenactment. Pretty noisy out there, so be prepared for that. Pumpkins in the Park will be held on Saturday, October 26th from 11 to 2. The event includes hay rides around Memorial Park, a s'more station, hot chocolate, apple cider, and kettle corn bar. Also, each child will get to paint a pumpkin to take home with them, and the cost is only $3 per child. I've had quite a few adults saying, hey, I'd like to do it too. They're welcome. For a small donation, join in. We should have plenty for everyone. Work throughout the parks. We're still closing the Seashore Water Park and making repairs that we couldn't do during the season. Getting it ready for next season. We had a very successful season. We're also applying weed control and fertilizer to all parks. We also have October 5th, the Ford Truck Show will be coming up. It's Debbie Hook is going to have some food there, and if you've ever had her food, a food truck, it's great. But 86 and up, and it's only Ford trucks, no Chevys, Dodges, Fords only. They made that perfectly clear. This will be a second annual that they came back to our park. We also, every weekend, for those of you that want some exercise and help out some different groups, we have 5K every weekend in October going around the park. So that'll be nice for people to join in. There again, I also want to congratulate the Lady Tigers golf team going on to regional. And there again, we have somebody on your board there that would like to congratulate Mrs. Taylor. Your daughter's amazing. She went in a playoff and won and was the toughest Tiger out there, but she was also the medalist. And I missed those days. I had 2 girls go through the program, several nieces, and that's pretty cool. That's really cool. And she's only a sophomore, so more to come. But congratulations to her. That's a lot of hard work, and we all know 95-degree heat that she was out there. But those girls are going on to regional again, and really successful season. I want to congratulate you on that.
Thank you.
Yes, that's all I had.
Thank you, John. Any questions for John from the board?
No.
Any questions from the public? Okay. Thank you, sir.
Let me add one more thing.
Yep.
We have an RC course that RC cars are coming out at Memorial or at Abner Longley. We're working on that course right now. In fact, as we speak, the volunteers are out there working. Also, the volunteers are helping us with Christmas lights, and a lot of progress made. They're going to change things up a little bit, but really appreciate all the volunteers that help us out on everything.
Great.
Thanks. Sorry.
No worries. Thanks, John. Okay. Next up, Engineering Department, Kevin Krulik.
Good evening, board members. Thanks again for this opportunity. Let's start off with the downtown project. Obviously, we're getting really close to the end, and happy to report that we did open West Main Street and Patterson, and the Big Four Trail is now open to traffic. Opened probably at 10 a.m. this morning, so you can now drive on all those streets and walk or ride on the trail from downtown or Courthouse Square. Boy, you can take a trail all the way to Memorial Park, or you can take a trail all the way to Thorntown. So that's a great asset for our community. So happy to announce that that is open. Obviously, there's still more work to do. We've got a few, odds and ends to wrap up, some blemishes on the project that need a little bit of polish. So we'll still be working on that probably for about the next 30 days. But just happy to report that it is open. So we officially issued substantial completion today, September 23rd. Also happy to report that that is over 30 days ahead of schedule from the contract completion date. So that's been a good project for us. Since we last met with you, we've wrapped up a lot of things, as you can imagine. The Boys and Girls Club parking lot, the storm sewer, the asphalt, and the striping has all been completed within that area. All the trail paver medallions are complete. The topsoil backfill was completed. We wrapped up all the asphalt last week, and we have seal coated the ARC parking lot. The only remaining things to do besides some of the cleanup, we do have to stripe the ARC parking lot, and then there's just the final lighting, landscaping, and signage details that are not part of the substantial completion requirements that will be completed within the next 30 days or as weather permits. All the signage, at least all the required signage for traffic control, is in place at this point. So it is a completely safe corridor, and that's why we opened it to traffic today.
Kevin, one
Yes.
question. Is there, I drove through that today, looks really good.
Good.
At least one, maybe two manholes look pretty deep. Are they going to raise those up, or do you know? Okay.
There's a couple of them. We like to leave them about a
Yeah,
half-inch
yeah.
low. Really comes down to our street department and snow plowing. We leave them a little low.
Right.
It just means they're safer.
There's
for
one
the
looked a little
plows.
deep though, right there, across the mark.
Yeah, right there across the mark, there was
Yeah.
one I noticed a little low, and you probably noticed there's a couple areas holding water in the curb line. We've been ensuring.
Haven't seen any rain, so I don't know.
Well, there wasn't any rain, but there was the watering of the sod showed us some bird baths, if you will, out there that the contractor will be. They are disappointed in that, and they are more than willing to cooperate in getting those things addressed and repaired. So
Okay.
you'll see some work happen, but from this point forward, any work that has to be done will be done under traffic.
Looks good. Can't wait to see what it looks like with lights up.
Yeah, it'll be nice. The lights are on site, so they'll be
Yeah,
standing those
I
light
saw
poles
those.
this week. So you'll start to see those go in and come on, hopefully within the next, as I said, next 30 days, but probably sooner on a lot of those things. So substantial completion was noted as today. Again, originally that was October 28th. They've got 30 days to reach final completion. We've still got some work, though, to do. We've still got the work along State Road 39 from Maine to Washington, replacing the sidewalks on the west side of the street, which will also include some paver areas as well as new lighting and street furnishings like bike racks and trash cans and benches. I am happy to report that we now have all of our NDOT permitting in place. When I was last here before you, that was still pending, and we were getting a little nervous about that, but those permits were actually issued the day after your last meeting. And that permit also included, the permit issuance also included the updated amended permits for the work at Meridian and State Road 32. So that work is also completed, and we see no reason why we can't complete both of those projects before winter gets here. So that's going to be our effort. So we'll look for more updates as we have detailed schedule. We will provide those to you, to the public, so they can see what has to happen there. All that work really has to happen under traffic, so I don't envision really any major road closures, but there will be some potential temporary detours and rerouting and obviously flaggers and caution as we drive through that area.
I got another crazy question.
Sure.
On Meridian and 32, we're looking, I think we answered this last time, we're looking to put the big black poles like we got on
Yes.
39.
Yes.
Is NDOT making any plans of any changes at 32 and 39?
Not that they've disclosed to us at this point.
Okay, I just think that would be nice if we could carry that to there, so.
It would be,
Okay.
it would be nice.
Of course, I don't know how we do that, that intersection's not very big enough for,
Yeah, that intersection is actually as constricted as any of our
Right.
intersections. I frequently see semi-trucks having
Right.
to wait for people to back up to get through those areas to make turns. So it's not something I think we could just replace the poles. I think that entire intersection will need to be reworked at some point here in the near future.
okay.
Moving on to other projects. Let's see, I don't have a lot of updates on any of our older or pending projects. The pavement resurfacing work is the next thing to get started. I don't have a definitive date from the contractor, which is our local contractor, Triangle Asphalt. Although I understand they've committed to resurfacing, milling and resurfacing their streets in October. So look for that work to start up here in the next week or so. Again, remind everybody that we have 3 community crossing grant applications that are under consideration. We will expect some sort of announcement in early October. So we're hoping that in the next, by the time we're before you again, which I believe is October 14th, we'll know if we are a grant recipient of the community crossing funds. Sidewalk replacement programs. The only work that's probably left to do yet this year is we're going to replace the sidewalks along Meridian Street from 32 to Main Street. That is going to be covered by funds that were appropriated from the downtown bonds. But we'll work to get that scheduled here in the next, I would say, 30 days as well. This came up at the last meeting, that wouldn't it be nice to install a couple of new street lights in that corridor? So we're going to take the steps to make sure that happens, or at least we're going to make sure in the next 30 days that we have the foundations, the bases for those light poles to sit on. A lot of those light poles are really long lead times to get, so it might be spring before we're able to stand those light poles up, but we're going to make sure those lights get installed. Right-of-way acquisition efforts on additional sidewalk projects are moving forward. We've released our consultants to do right-of-way acquisition efforts on Lafayette Avenue, Witt Road, as well as Riley Road to get those right-of-ways necessary for those sidewalk projects. Most likely we'll be rebidding those sidewalk projects for spring of 2020. Yet this fall and winter, so that we can encumber the 2019 funds and use those for next year's projects. Big Four Trail expansion, this will be on the agenda for City Council meeting later tonight. But just to update you that we are expecting to do a grant submittal here in early October. The grant submittal process opens up October 1. We want to be in as early as we can so that hopefully we can get some constructive criticism on our application and make any necessary changes before we go forward. Keep in mind that the project is now at about $3 million. That includes land acquisitions. That includes extending the trail from downtown to Abner Longley Park and connecting to the Safe Routes to Schools trail project over on Hendricks Drive near Stokes Elementary. And it also includes resurfacing of the trail from County Road 400 West to Sarah and Plant Road just outside of Thorntown. Remind everyone we'll be doing some material price bidding here in November for street department materials for next year, so keep on the lookout for that. Another large project now that to talk about is the Indianapolis Avenue Phase 2 project. Work continues there. We're nearing the end of our storm sewer phase of Phase 2, which really is the bulk of all the storm sewer for Phases 2 and 3. And that work should be wrapping up tomorrow or the day after that. And then we'll move right into fine grading and getting ready to stabilize the subgrade. Right now, I think we'll be looking at the first of next week for soil stabilization on Phase 2. Remind everyone that requires a 3-day cure period before we can get on that subgrade again. So at some point, the work will have to really, all work will cease on the job while that soil cures. But then we'll be back at it. Looking ahead to some dates in our timeline, we'll move right into under drains for Phase 2, probably around the 5th of October. We'll be putting stone down around the 10th of October. Curbs around the 18th, and getting ready for asphalt right about fall break as that gets here on the 21st of October. And then the hope would be is that we would be opening Phase 2 to traffic and switching the traffic control over and starting work in Phase 3 right around the end of October, right around the 28th. And then around the 8th of November, we should be wrapping up storm sewer on Phase 3. Around the 29th of November, we should be wrapping up curbs and moving right into asphalt that first week of December. And hopefully, we will be opening the Phase 2 and Phase 3 segments to two-way traffic around the 13th of December. There's a lot that has to happen between now and then, and obviously we're entering into the more difficult season from a weather standpoint, but that is the current schedule we're working towards. The contractor has agreed to expedite Phase 2 and 3 paving schedules by delaying the Phase 2 and Phase 3 sidewalks and concrete drive approaches until the end of Phase 3. So we know work is really going to have to go into the spring of next year, but we'd really like to get the road open to two-way traffic before winter gets here, and that's why we're going to delay those sidewalk and driveway improvements till the end. Keep in mind that once we get to the 1st of December, NDOT no longer requires any contract work to be completed, so that's sort of the schedule we're working towards. Again, always look for updates. Look for that on the city's Facebook page. Look for that on the engineering department Facebook page. Look for the hashtag on the Ave, and feel free to contact us if you have any questions or need further information. Grant Street, not a whole lot happening on Grant Street. I mentioned this to you last time. We're just working towards permitting, working towards right-of-way acquisition. We are going to bundle the storm sewer outlets on William Street with the William Street Bridge construction that the county will do next year. Moving on to other private development projects, Sunbrook utility work is wrapped up, and they are beginning subgrade preparation in anticipation for curbs and asphalt by the end of October. So it's an aggressive timeline, but we'd look to those streets to be ready for home construction sometime in early November. Sunbrook Villas is still working through some county drainage board approvals, and hopefully they will be moving dirt once they're able to obtain those permits and approvals this fall, and looking for spring street construction in 2020. Gateway Marketplace, we had our final walkthrough last week, inspecting the streets and sidewalks. All the striping is complete, trees have been installed, all the sidewalks are in, and we are looking to open Ping Drive this week. Keep in mind that there is a traffic light that's supposed to go up at the intersection of Ping and State Road 32. The signals, the poles will all be up, but keep in mind the traffic lights, the signals themselves, the red, yellow, green lights will not go up until we have the users in that development that will generate the traffic needed. That's NDOT's requirements. We wish we could put them up earlier, but NDOT will not allow those signals to go in place until the warrant is there for that stoplight. But we will be able to open up Ping Drive to traffic.
Kevin, I had a quick question about that. So, people have asked me concerns about traffic backing up there. I mean, NDOT had to look at that and decide that a signal there was appropriate and wouldn't impact traffic there. Is that correct?
Exactly, yes. It had to meet what NDOT would refer to as a warrant analysis, but that warrant analysis is dependent on the final users in, the final tenants, if you will, in the Lebanon Gateway Marketplace to be in place. So we will keep an eye on that. I'm not for sure when exactly we will cross that warrant threshold, whether it will be after the Burger King opens or the Moe's Southwest Grill, or after Logan Steakhouse or the other hotel or any future uses. So we'll keep an eye on that, but NDOT does require that traffic to actually be there before the signal opens up.
So that'll just continue to function as a two-way stop?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. So Ping Drive to the north is already there. Ping Drive will now extend south, so you will stop coming either direction on Ping up to 32. Ransdell Road south of there will go through a large series of S-curves and become Ping Drive. Ransdell Road just south of 32 will still be there. It will just be right in, right out only, and it will connect in the middle of the new S-curves between the Ping and the Ransdell transition, if you will. So yeah, look for some changing traffic patterns here in the next couple days. But again, the signals will not be up. You're just going to treat that like a two-way stop like you would at Ping Drive today. I think it covers everything there. Brownfield grants, testing is supposed to commence next week on those issues. The Culver site, the building demolition is complete, and construction materials have started to show up on site, so we'll look for them to hopefully go vertical here in the next few weeks. And then, not last but not least, but our pavement asset management plan will be moving forward here this fall as we begin to restudy all of our pavements throughout the city.
Okay. Thank you, Kevin. Lots of stuff going on as usual. Any questions from the board? Any questions from the public?
No.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Do you have the planning report as well?
I do have the planning report. As you know, Ben is out with a bit of an injury. He is back at work, but being here long hours takes quite the toll on him, so I told him I would be happy to give his report for this evening. Planning Department operations from the 9th till today, we've had 74 building inspections, so although it slowed down a little bit at the last report, seems to have picked up the pace again as we, I think, near the winter months. We've issued 36 permits in this time period. 4 of those have been new residential construction, 3 HVAC permits, 11 electric permits, 5 fence permits, 1 remodel, 3 plumbing permits, and 2 roofing permits. There's also been 2 right-of-way permits issued for work within the right-of-way. And on the commercial side of things, we've had 2 new construction permits and 3 sign permits. Happy to report, we've issued 61 building permits. That's new building, new construction permits this year. And we're obviously not done. We anticipate a few more permits that will go out the door before we get to the end of the year. In my recent memory, and that's nearing over 10 years now of work on the Plan Commission, I remember years as small as 2 permits, and I think I remember us maxing out somewhere around 32 permits in one given year. So for us to do 61 building permits in a year, that is quite the accomplishment, and I think it's a testament to the growth that we're seeing in the community. And we anticipate that to continue to go up as we go into next year as well. I think we had estimated there'd be about 100 building permits this year. I don't think we'll get to 100. But keep in mind, we thought we would be building by spring in Sunbrook, and that didn't happen yet. So we're right on track, really, with the caveat of Sunbrook and what we thought we would be hitting for this year.
Good.
And more projects to come next year. Code enforcement operations in the last 2 weeks. There have been 3 unsafe structure inspections and indoor follow-ups, 31 trash and debris inspections. Vehicle parking, parking of recreational vehicles, there have been 5 inspections and follow-ups in this time period, 12 inspections for parking in the grass, 4 for junk vehicles, and 3 for improper street parking. Grass and weed complaints, there have been 13 inspections in the same time period, and 1 for overgrowth in the alley and overgrown shrubs. As well as then 2 permit inspections associated with fencing. So that's all I have from the planning department.
Thank you, Kevin, for the report. Any questions?
Yeah, Kevin, I got a question, because I was down Patterson Street today. What's the latest on the Winkler, the old Winkler building there on Patterson Street demolition?
Winkler building. The
used to be Winkler's years ago.
Used to be Winkler's, and it was
Prairie
Global
Industries.
Plastics, Prairie Industries.
Yeah.
Good question. I have not seen an update in the last couple weeks, so I'm afraid I can't tell you. I'm there almost daily. I can tell you it seems as though the demolition operations have ceased temporarily, although there's still equipment on site. I'm afraid I don't have
just curious.
a
I
good.
figured it would be completely.
I would have thought so as well, but.
I had a meeting with the company doing the redevelopment there. The demolition contractors is essentially kind of doing it when they don't have anything else to do. So I think they've been busy, so that's kind of why it slowed them down. I still think they're working through some of the financials to try and make sure they have the bonding, things like that we have not moved forward with the city yet on some of that stuff. So they're not waiting on us. It's kind of just they're taking a little bit slower pace on it, which is fine with us. So.
On that note, we do have a meeting next week with the developer broker on the site to discuss a potential project on that site. So hopefully we'll have some good news to report after that meeting.
Just curious.
Yeah. It's a very large and lengthy industrial environmental cleanup site at this point, and the building demolition is just a small part of that.
Sure.
So there's a lot more work to be done there before they're ready to actually build a new project for us.
Okay. Any other questions for the board?
I have a question on permits. How long are the permits good for? What's the length of time?
Well, I guess it depends. If work is continuing to happen on those, they can effectively go indefinitely. If a permit is issued and no work is commenced, I believe they have a 2-year sunset on them before they would expire.
Okay.
Any questions for the public? Okay. Thanks, sir. Street and stormwater, Dave?
Man, it's tough to follow Kevin. Let's see, we've had, been out patching holes. We've used 6 tons since our last meeting, so we've been pretty busy with hot mix. The chipper truck's been out as well, very busy. The chipper truck's been out too because we've been out trimming some trees in neighborhoods for the leaf machines to get under, and our plow trucks. And with buses starting back to school, it's pushing them out a little bit, so we try to keep that where stuff can fit under it, not obstruct traffic. Stormwater crew's been very busy. They're about wrapping it up for the season because we're getting ready to go into leaf season, so they're trying to finish up their projects. We'll continue to have the street sweeper out all through leaf season, and once the cold hits, we'll have to shut it down. But the way it's going, that could be a while. Pretty nice out. We have started getting the leaf machines serviced and ready for the season. I think we got one more to go, and then we'll be ready to, when it hits, or they drop, I guess I should say, we'll be ready to go out there. Just a reminder to our residents that they can take their debris and their brush to Green Cycle now. They opened it back up to where it's free of charge. I don't think some of them realize that when they bring it to us, I mean, it's a service we offer, but we have to pay to get rid of it. The city does, so, you know, if they're already in a truck, it's just as easy to take it out there, but either way.
Do we generally do limbs? I mean, I know we technically do limbs only after storms, but I feel like I've been seeing more and more.
It's all the time.
Okay.
The only thing we don't do is if somebody pays a contractor. We have a few contractors that'll try to put it out. And
Okay.
we feel like that's not fair to the resident for them to pay and then for us to pick it up, so.
But really, I mean, if they're trimming their trees, they should be taking their brush themselves versus.
Right, but
I mean, we do provide it as a service for storms, but we haven't really had a lot of big storms, but there's been a lot of.
We haven't had a lot of, we tracked the last storm was months ago and we still have the chipper out every day, so I don't know how to address that issue really.
Okay.
And it's like $400 a dumpster or something to get rid of brush.
Okay.
So, it's just something we probably should look at maybe at a different time. Fall cleanup is Friday, October 4th and Saturday, October 5th, 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. We've already had a lot of calls, so people are ready. It'll probably rain, just to warn you. I don't know why, but it likes to rain during cleanups. But it looks like it can be nice, so that'll help a lot. A few of us from the street department will be attending the SCIA with Street Commissioners Association this week. I believe that's in Plymouth, so get some road course classes in, a lot of knowledge to bring back and for the guys in our town. So that's the plan. Just to hit on something Kevin was talking about, getting a lot of calls about the Lafayette Avenue and Main Street stop. We know it says 4-way stop and it's a 3, but I talked to the company and they were just waiting on the all-way stop signs. They got sent the wrong ones. They just wanted something up just to let people know everybody was stopping. So they will switch those out to all-way instead of 4-way.
Okay.
Since it's a 3-way stop there. But they are aware of that. On that note, we've had 133 calls since our last Board of Works meeting. 1 for debris in the road, 20 random questions. This could be anything. 1 for low limbs, which we're trying to get those up, as I said. 17 were for about fall cleanup. 10 for recycling or trash. We get a lot of recycling, which is great. 53 for brush. There goes your brush question. 2 for stormwater, 6 for potholes, and 23 of those were walk-ins. And that's all I got.
Okay. Thank you, Dave. Any questions for Dave from the board? Any questions for the public? Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, and then you have Joe's report. Okay.
I have one more for you. Communications report for 9/23 from Mr. LePage. Just wanted me to remind everyone that the tickets for the downtown dinner, Unite Under the Lights, are still live. That event is to be held on October 5th, so the day of and the day after the community cleanup. So, get yourself cleaned up and head downtown on Saturday the 5th after you clean up your property. from 6 to 9. It is a $50 per person ticket, but that includes a very nice meal provided by Jackie's Catering, and as well as drinks and live jazz music from the Chicago Diamond Trio will be in town for that evening. This is downtown on Meridian Street under the catenary lighting. I do want to note that we had initially limited this to 50 people, and the tickets were sold out. So if you wanted to go and were not able to get tickets in time, additional tickets, additional seats have been opened up for this event. So head back to the website, look at the City of Lebanon Facebook page. You can find the links to those websites where you can buy those tickets. And again, it was sold out, but more tickets have been opened up at this time. The other thing Joe wanted me to update you on is the next Lebanon Legend video for Craig Terrell is still under production, but he did get sent some great footage from the Seattle Seahawks. So as he begins to incorporate that into his video, he will get that published here shortly. Joe anticipates publishing that video on October 5th in time for the next newsletter. That's all I have.
Thank you, Kevin. Any questions for Kevin in that report? No. Any questions for the public? Okay, thank you, sir. All right, that concludes what I have for department head reports. Do I have board consent to move to new business? I know we have some street closure requests, and I thought we'd take care of those pretty quickly. Do I have consent from the board? Consent?
Sure.
Consent, okay. First up then is the street closure request for the Clear Vista block party. Do we have a representative? Please step forward and introduce your name and then tell you what you guys are doing. Yeah, you gotta do the microphone. For our big audience watching at home, so that's why. Yeah.
I'm Amanda Bishop. I'm a representative from the Clear Vista HOA, and we are trying to schedule a neighborhood block party on October the 6th from 4 until 8 p.m. on Vista Cove, which is a cul-de-sac in Clear Vista. It is only a cul-de-sac. There are exactly 8 houses on the circle, and we would like to shut that down for a few hours and throw up some bouncy castles and a jazz band from the high school and have some fun.
Okay. So do you have your own barricades, city barricades, any?
We don't have any barricades, but
Okay.
we have a whole lot of picnic tables.
Okay.
And 116 houses worth of residents to block off the area. It's at the back of the subdivision, so there's no traffic unless you live
Okay.
on that street anyway.
Okay, great. You said from 4 to 8 p.m.?
It's from 4 to 8 with some setup time, so probably 2 to 9 with setup and tear down.
Okay. Any questions? Amanda, correct? I'm sorry?
Yes.
Any questions for Amanda from the board?
No?
Okay, then I would entertain a motion to approve the street closure request on Vista Cove from 2 to 9 p.m. on October 6th.
I'll make a motion, we approve a street closure for the Clear Vista block party on October 6th from, I'll make it 2 to 9, so that gives her time to set up and take down. They're in the cul-de-sac
Okay.
on October 6th.
We have a motion to approve the street closure request. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? That is approved.
So one more question for
Sure.
you, since we're here and voting. We have a rain delay of October 13th. In case it rains on the 6th, we're going to reschedule for the next Sunday.
Okay.
So
Let's do,
I will extend
amend
my
your motion.
Amend the motion,
to
yeah.
include a rain date of October the 13th.
same time.
Same time, same location.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, that has been approved.
Thank
You guys have a great event.
Hey, Matt, on that, the street department will bring 4 barricades and set them on the corners, probably Friday. That way you guys can use them for safety, and then we'll pick them up Monday. That way you got them just in case.
All right, thank you.
Great. Next up is a Hickory Meadows block party request. Please.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Greg Woods. I'm resident 1714 Ashley Drive. I'm here representing the HOA that I'm a member of the board, as well as the residents of Hickory Meadows. We'd like to ask to shut down a portion of a street, Clover Lane, between Sweet Cherry Meadows and Cherry Park for a block party on this upcoming September 28th between the hours of 5 and 9. This is something the neighborhood has done in the past, and with some new members on the board, we're trying to bring this little event back to life, and it's got a lot of positive responses from the neighborhood. So I'm here today to ask for your permission, and yes, we would entertain the street department's help if they would like to deliver some barricades. That would be very nice. And other than that, unless you have some questions for me, that was the purpose of my visit this evening.
What's the date?
This Saturday, the 28th.
Okay. Would you like the same kind of buffer on the setup time?
Yeah, that would be nice. Thank you, gentlemen and ladies. And I hadn't actually considered the rain date thing, but I'm going to have to pass because they didn't bring that up to me, and I feel kind of silly we didn't think about that. Seeing as how we had 4 or 5 weeks of no rain, it would probably be perfectly logical that it would rain on the day that we're trying to have a block party.
Does 4 to 10 work?
Yeah, that would be fine. Thank you, sir.
4 to 10? Okay.
Okay. So, any questions?
Have you talked to the police department to let them know and check?
We have a number of members of the police department in the neighborhood. I would hope that one of my board members has spoken to them.
Just want to make sure everybody's notified.
Okay.
Them and the fire departments.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay, with that, any other questions from the board?
No.
Okay. Would entertain a motion to approve the Hickory Meadows street closure request. The street closure of Clover Lane between Cherry Park and Sweet Cherry Meadows on September 28th from 4 to 10 p.m.
I make a motion that we approve the Hickory Meadows block party between Clover Lane and Sweet Cherry Lane on September the 28th between 4 and 10.
Okay, we have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second the motion.
Motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Oh, sorry.
What's the month? I thought it was October, not September.
Yeah, September.
September, oh,
Yeah,
okay.
you wanted to do it this Saturday.
Yep. We had a motion, second. Further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, that request is approved.
Thank you,
very
ladies and
much.
gentlemen. I'd like to extend an invitation to all of you, including you, Mayor, if you'd like to come out and join us.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Next up is a alleyway closure request. Deanna Fuller, are you here? Please step forward. This is for an auction? Okay.
I'm Deanna Fuller. Excuse me. My mother is Myra Somerville, and we're having an auction of her personal property at the rear of her home. Her home is at the corner of Washington Street and Park Street, and the back of the property butts up to the alley behind what was formerly Fawcett and Flame. And so there's not a lot of room in that area. And so from the beginning of the alley, which is at the edge of her property, to the other edge, which would be, I guess, west of the next residence, we would like to block that part of the alley so that it just makes it more accessible and easier to conduct the auction, given some additional space.
So that's from east to west on the corner?
But it's only on that behind the house, correct?
Only
It's not the
behind the
entire
house,
alley?
right.
Right, it's not the entire alley.
Okay.
And in fact, there's the Aspire home and another apartment house, which is right next door to her, and they can still have access to go west.
Right.
And so it'd be no actual blockage except what's directly behind her property line.
Gotcha. Okay.
So what's her resident address?
Yeah,
then?
319 East Washington Street is
319
the actual address.
And what's the date of the auction?
October 5th. That's a happening day.
That is a busy day. Okay.
It is, yeah.
And I would request it to be from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. The auction's actually 10 to probably 2, but just people will load and we'll be setting up that morning early.
Okay.
And we'll literally have tables in that alleyway, just so you know. And equally, we've contacted Central Christian Church and St. Joseph Church and McCormick and Jackson McCormick Insurance Agencies and requested permission to park cars there. And so we'll have auction personnel kind of, just directing people. We'll have little signs, auction parking here, that type of thing, to kind of alleviate some potential congestion.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions for Deanna?
No.
Okay. Would entertain a motion for the temporary alley closure request behind 319 East Washington Street.
I make a motion we approve the temporary alley close behind 319 East Washington Street, October the 5th, between 7 and 4.
We have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, that's approved.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good luck with your auction. Okay, consent to return to old business from the board? Consent?
Consent,
Okay.
yes.
This is the approval of NDOT signing on 32. I guess Kevin got an update from NDOT about this?
Yes, when I was last before you, this was on your agenda, and I said to hold up on this one because we were taken a bit off guard when we received this agreement. We have since had more follow-up conversations with NDOT. This is their standard operating procedure whenever there is a new signal that will intersect an existing local road, like Ping Drive in this instance, that they want this type of agreement in place. They have admitted and claimed responsibility for the lack of information they provided us with when they delivered this agreement, as well as, I guess, some tardiness on their part. This agreement really should have been put in place 6 months ago, and this just fell through the cracks. So they do, as I said, though, this is a matter of standard practice for them. They do want this agreement to be executed. They are open to legal review and comment from the city's legal counsel on the agreement, but they do need to have some form of agreement in place governing these traffic signals. So what I'm asking for would be for your permission to execute this agreement, subject to legal counsel recommendation, and authorize the mayor to execute that document once it receives legal approval.
Okay. Any questions or concerns from the board?
I do have one question, sorry. On the information, the agreement I had before, it's got a signature page for the mayor and for Bill Stoner and Jane Taylor. Are they also to sign?
They are willing to remove the other signatures. They just need an executive of the city government to sign the agreement.
So I'm going to get a new
We'll get you a new
sheet
one.
on this.
They'll have a significantly new agreement
Okay,
before we execute.
very well.
Yeah, that'll be those legal changes we were talking about. so.
I've already spoken to Mr. Shine about this. There is a
Got it.
significant amount of change that we're going to need to make, primarily because this agreement is so much after the fact. The construction is scheduled to be completed on that signal, with the exception of hanging the signal lights in the next week.
Okay.
And that document has a lot to do with inspections and testing and bidding that obviously don't apply. One, because it is a private developer permitted signal, and two, because we're already past that situation. But they do insist that there is some sort of an agreement governing the use and operation of that signal that is put in place. So.
Okay. Any other questions for Kevin from the board?
No?
Would entertain a motion then for the approval of the agreement with NDOT for the signal placed at State Road 32 West and Ping Drive, pending final legal review and allowing the mayor to execute on your guys' behalf.
I would make a motion to approve and execute the agreement with NDOT for the signage on State Road 32 West, subject to legal review and approval of the mayor.
Okay. Motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, that is approved. Thank you, Kevin. That includes old business. So to finish up new business now would be the active living project sidewalks along Meridian Street to State Road 32 bid award. This is Kevin as well.
Yes, this is a bit of an old issue, and if you might have remembered, we bid several active living projects, sidewalk projects, if you will, earlier in the year, 3 projects to be specific. Those projects were the Meridian Street sidewalks, removal and replacement of sidewalks and curbs along Meridian Street from Main Street south to State Road 32. We bid some curb work along Grant Street to protect the sidewalk in that area from the adjacent traffic. And then we also bid some replacement of sidewalks along William Street adjacent to Central Elementary. At that time, we received, these were itemized bid packages, and we received 2 responses to those bidding documents. one from Joe Wilson and one from Calumet Civil Contractors. At the time, Joe Wilson did not supply a number, an itemized bid for the Meridian Street sidewalks, but he was the lowest bidder for the other two projects. Calumet Civil Contractors responded with bid numbers for all three projects. Their project price from the Meridian Street sidewalks was $100,493.79. One, we didn't have this much money budgeted in our active living program for the year to cover all three projects. So that's why we initially just asked for authorization to award projects 2 and 3, the Grant and William Street projects. And those projects have been completed. But as it stands now, as we're nearing the end of our downtown construction projects, we have some contingency monies left over, and it is appropriate to use those monies to fund this sidewalk project as it is adjacent and benefits those projects. So what we're asking for is permission to award project number 1, the Meridian Street sidewalks, to Calumet Civil Contractors Incorporated in the amount of $100,493.79. We have reviewed those documents. We have been in touch with Calumet to make sure they are willing to honor that bid price as it has expired. It is more than 60 days past the bid date. They are willing to still honor that price and are willing to accept an award to complete the project and feel they can complete it this year. I should also note that just to check things, we did get another price from the contractor that is working on the downtown project, and they were over $120,000. So we feel this is a competitive price and an important piece of connecting the downtown projects to the intersection of State Road 32 and Meridian. So we would like your permission to issue a notice of award, subject to legal review, and authorize execution by the mayor to issue a notice of award to Calumet Civil Contractors for that project.
Any questions for Kevin from the board?
Okay, Kevin, we got for project 1, we have money available in the contingency fund, correct?
Yes.
And projects 2 and 3, will they also come out of the contingency?
Those projects were already awarded and already paid for out of the active living monies.
Okay.
Active living.
Okay.
All right.
So essentially we're using...
They're completed already.
They are completed.
Okay.
We're just going back, and this project was quite a bit higher than what we had budgeted in the active living monies. But it's an important piece of our trail project. So once we got to the end of the downtown project, we still have contingency money available in the bond, and we feel this is a good use of that to go ahead and complete that project, as well as the lighting, as we mentioned earlier today and at the last meeting associated with that.
Okay. Any other questions from the board? No. Any public comment? Okay.
Wait, one more, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's good, Dick.
What's the construction time period for the project 1?
I don't have a completion date, but the contractor is confident they can complete this work in the next 60 days before we get to winter conditions.
Okay.
So the goal would be to complete it before December 1st.
1?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
And does this go, to remind me, does this go south of Meridian Street, south of State Road 32 as well?
Not south of State Road 32, just between 32 and Main Street.
Okay.
Yeah, both sides, right?
Both sides.
Okay.
New curb, sidewalk, alley approaches, so all the concrete work in that area. Keep in mind that that section of Meridian Street is also under contract to be resurfaced this year. So this will really put a bow on our downtown project and the adjacent block there, and show that we've completed the projects between Main Street and 32, where we're making a significant investment in the intersection with 32 and Meridian. So we won't have a gap, so to speak, in the new work that we've done.
Do we have to do any paving in that intersection?
Just patching in just 32.
Patching. Okay.
Yes. Keep in mind, State Road 32 is scheduled to be resurfaced by the state next year.
Yeah. I didn't know if they were making us do that.
We're just patching.
Okay.
Any other questions from the board?
Nope.
Okay, then I would entertain a motion to approve the bid award to Calumet for the Meridian Street project, to State Road 32 sidewalk project.
I'll make a motion, we approve a contract with Calumet Civil Contractors in the amount of $100,493.79 for the Meridian Street project from Main Street to State Road 32.
We have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Should be subject to review and signing by the mayor.
Sure.
Yes, I'll add that.
Okay, I second.
Motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, that is approved. Finally, Bill, you had some surplus vehicles you wanted to submit?
Yes, which, you want to do street,
Go ahead and do them all. Son.
David, you want to do street department?
Sure thing. We did get a new F-650 in from Enterprise for plowing. We're waiting on a few more trucks, but it's the one we're trying to surplus is a 2005 GMC. It's just, I think the city probably bought it new, and it's been a well-used truck, but it's just starting to nickel dime. It's time to. And it's only got 25,000 miles on it, but you wouldn't know it from the body. But the good thing is this is our first V-Box truck, so we should be able to start calibrating our salt better and usage and be more environmental friendly and money friendly. So.
Very good.
That's good, that's good. Yeah. Well, yeah, he's got the paperwork and everything all filled out on that. I've got an estimate from Enterprise of estimated value of $43,000, but that will depend on how it goes through the auction and what we actually get. So we can go ahead and make a motion on that to declare it surplus.
Okay. Any other questions for Bill or Dave? Okay. Would entertain a motion to declare the 2005 GMC surplus.
I make a motion we declare the 2005 GMC TC 7500 surplus.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
I second the motion.
Motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, that's approved. And then there were police department ones as well, Bill?
Thank you.
Thank you, Dave.
Police department. Brad, we have 3 from the police department.
We have 3 cars to surplus. One is an old detective car, 2014 Malibu, value of $5,000.
There again, we've already, paperwork's filled out, and I've contacted Enterprise. Estimated value to run through the auction is $5,000, so we can go ahead and entertain a motion to declare that vehicle
Well,
surplus.
let's just do all 3 at the same
All 3?
time.
All 3?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
Then I have a 2012 Chevy Tahoe, estimated value of $7,500. And then the last one is a 2015 Tahoe, estimated value of $15,000.
Any questions for Brad or Bill on those? Okay. Would entertain a motion to surplus the 2015 Chevy Tahoe, the 2012 Chevy Tahoe, and the 2014 Chevy Malibu.
I make a motion we declare surplus the 2012 Tahoe, the 2014 Malibu, and the 2015 Tahoe.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, thank you. Those are approved. Thank you, Brad. Okay, I think the audience is cleared out, so I think that means we've accomplished everything tonight. Any other discussion, announcements from the board? Okay, would entertain a motion concerning the claims.
Make a motion to pay claims.
Motion to pay the claims. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Claims are approved. And finally, would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion we adjourn.
We have a motion to adjourn. Is there a second? Motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, we are adjourned. Thanks for watching. The city council meeting will begin at 7:15.